What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, John Wall, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, we got some breaking news right now regarding Tyson. Scary. The Roadrunner fact. Forget USYK the rabbit. You are legitimately. We know for a fact USYK ain't the runner. You the Roadrunner. No, USYK ain't the rabbit. You are the Roadrunner. Beep beep. Whoop. Whoop. In fact, you're the roadrunner to get caught. You're the slow roadrunner, right? The roadrunner, more time, don't get caught. This dude, yeah, with his Zambian looking ass legs and his Benidorm looking ass top half, expat Benidorm top half looking ass. He the roadrunner that gets clipped in the first round, almost knocks Spark out. His eyes was like, whoop. Did a video yesterday, for you man who don't know. Yeah, his block got spun up. What do they call it? His optical cortex. Yeah, playing Where's Wally right now. That's what he was doing. I don't think Tyson Fury was fighting. He was playing Where's Wally. You ever played that game? It's kind of like you're trying to look everywhere. When you play Where's Wally, yeah, you're trying to look everywhere, and at the same time, it's like, whoop. This dude didn't come to fight. He ain't come to fight. Yeah. Anyway, Tyson Fury has now confirmed that he will take the Alexander Usyk rematch next. Frank Warren has revealed. He said they will push ahead with plans for the second fight to take place in October in Saudi Arabia. Well, let me say this now, people. If the October date is indeed scheduled, I expect to pull out from Fury off the rip. Yeah, I expect to pull out from Fury off the rip. But at this point in time, he has no more kind of social clout. Before, Turkey was on the bandwagon and blowing him off. I got a video coming soon. Turkey's been clowning on Tyson Fury. Clowning on him. And that's what I told you a little while ago about these men are fickle. Yeah, these guys, the same as AJ. When AJ lost to Usyk, no one was effing with him like that, right? They weren't really on it like that. AJ was fighting back in the UK, right? Against Franklin and all them other bumps. Franklin and Hellenius. He was fighting in the UK. Them Saudi man weren't interested in him. They want the bull. And Saudi was all about Tyson Fury. Because he the next one. He's the new hot thing. They're fickle. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're paying for it, yeah. If you're paying for these man to get flown in to do a madness, then that's your right, right? And no one asked them to come in there and do a madness for the coin. But either way, the point is, these cats are fickle. So, if Fury pulls out again, I can see Turkey just binning him off. Alright, you sit down somewhere, we're going to bring AJ in like November or whenever Usyk wants it. That's what I believe would happen. Yeah? So, and that'd be good. Fury needs that now. Oh, AB, don't kick him out when he's down. No, he needs that. He needs to like carry on thinking he's the man. And then pull his usual moves. And then get pied off. You know what, Fury, sit down somewhere. Just sit there and go into retirement and be quiet. Because we ain't trying to hear from you. We ain't trying to hear from a loser, essentially. It's one thing when you're clowning around, pulling out fights, and you're out of shape and whatever else, and you're winning. It's kind of acceptable. Well, he wins. That was my narrative. Oh, well, he always turns up and wins when it matters. Now you ain't done that. Now you ran around for 12 rounds and got punched up by a dude, 4th weight division, smaller than you. It's over now. That whole shtick of, oh, I can get on the gear and drink beer and... No, that's over. You've shown that. Yeah, the only place this shape is accepted is in Benidorm, people. Yeah? In the retirement community in Benidorm. That's the only place, legitimately, the only place Tyson Fury is like, okay, that makes sense. The only place you can see Tyson Fury's on an average basis is in the retirement communities in Benidorm. You can't see them in the athletic circles, people who take their sport seriously. That's what you can't do. Yeah? Because his legs, he was the man who was 33 or 35. He looked like he had 45-year-old legs in there. Right? His cardio was like 45-year-old cardio. So finally it's all caught up with him. And I hope for his sake, I mean, all due respect, I do think he has a chance in the rematch. I'm not going to put money on it though. Why? Because I think he's broken. I said before the fight, the Ngannou fight wasn't... Something was missing there. Yeah? He didn't want to have a fight with Ngannou. He'd been turned out. He's been turned out. All that narrative of, oh, I'll have a fight about it, that's now over. He didn't have a fight about it with Ngannou. He didn't have a fight about it with USYK, and that's kind of like Fury's become everything he talked about. He's become the David Haye. He's become the AJ. He's the new AJ, the new dude who don't want to fight, just wants to go in there and politic. As it happens, AJ's kind of revived himself, but Fury's got no excuse. That makes sense. Fury hadn't even lost as such, and he fell off. At least AJ kind of got beat up by Ruiz and it kind of shocked him. What's your excuse? Nothing. You just literally, genuinely, legitimately broken. Yeah, and it's much harder. Like, AJ may or may not have come back. I'd like to think he has. Put his head back on his shoulders with Ben Davison. But for someone like... AJ's whole game wasn't based solely on ego, if that makes sense. Of course, all fighters... Every individual has an ego, but AJ's game, it's not like a McGregor. AJ's game is much more like a... I wouldn't say a Habib. I think Habib, USYK, Beterbiev, Bivol, they are the supreme. Extremely low ego fighters. If that makes sense. AJ's not as low ego as that, because someone like USYK would never. If USYK lost a fight, he'd never grab the belts and dash him out the ring. So AJ has some sort of ego. But the point I'm making is, you've got people like Fury, McTapper. They're the pinnacle of ego. They're all ego. And once you pop that, yeah, once McTapper got popped by Nate Diaz, he was never the same again. Broken. And that's what you'll see here. Fury's cloak of invincibility is over. Yeah, it's been popped. And I don't believe he'll ever want to fight hard again. I think it's over now. Look at Naz, for example. Another great example. Naz was all ego, not a humble cell in his body. He lost once and he fell off, never to be seen again. So it's going to be very hard for Fury. Very hard for him. Yeah, because his whole existence is, yeah, I'm on Netflix and I'm the dude who just rocks up and knocks people out. I'm the bare knuckle king, there's not a man born. That's his whole being. So it's possible that anything's possible, right? It's possible that AJ would have jumped in there with Ruiz a second time and put it on him, but he didn't. And the signs I saw from early in the fight, I wouldn't lie to you. I genuinely thought, in that first round when he got clipped, I thought, this ain't good. In that first round when Tyson Fury was running for his life and then got clipped and had his eyes twisted and there was no response. Historically, Fury gets hit and he wants to come back. That's what USYK was doing. Every time Fury got off when I watched it a second time, USYK was trying to come back. That's one of the basic principles in boxing. If someone gets you, you get them back. Fury wasn't interested. He was interested in trying to stay safe and get something for nothing. Like a true bare knuckle. Yeah, if you can nick something for nothing... That's what their man will do. Yeah? 100%. If you can dump some moody gear, if you can fly tip somewhere, they're all on that. Something for nothing, right? That's how Fury's boxing. He's like, if I can nick a punch here and then not take no risk, I'll do that. That's all he would do, though. He wouldn't even put a stiff jab out there. The least risky punch Fury was refusing to commit to. Sugar Hill at points was shouting at him, commit to the jab, commit to the jab. Fury slapping it out. Didn't see one solid jab the whole night. He was scared to death to exchange with USYK. And I think that's very hard. You can't get that back in a training camp. It's a mindset thing. Same with AJ. How many trainers, how many training camps did he have after Ruiz won? 10 probably. It's something more intricate about the mind. It's not about a training camp. AJ been training hard. Before the Ruiz one, after the Ruiz one. It's not about training. You can train hard all you want. It's about the mind. It's not like that. There is a switch, I believe. You can flick it and say, I'm never going to lose like that again. But it's extremely rare, especially these days. These days, most people are happy to lose on points. That's the bottom line. And flicking that switch when you've made all that money, you know you don't have to fight. Why should I have a war with someone? If I can make... Fury knows he can go into the rematch, yeah? Make 80 million with USYK. Make 80 million with AJ twice. That's best part of $250,000 there. $250 million. USYK 2, AJ 1, AJ 2. There's $250 million. Fury knows that regardless. He can get knocked out by USYK, knocked out by AJ, knocked out by AJ again. He's going to make at least $250 million. When you know you've got financial security, why are you going to make it hard for yourself? You're going to go in there, if I could nick this fight on points and not get caught and, I won. You'll do that. And that's what I saw. He can say all he wants about, I didn't know I was losing, and that's, I would have gone, if I knew I was losing, I'd have gone out there and done something. Okay, mate. Yeah. And if my nan had a big twang, she'd be my granddad. Where do you draw the line here? If this, if that, if I knew this, if I knew I didn't get knocked out in the 9th round, if I'd have known I almost got knocked out in the 9th round, I'd have done something. Maybe that's what Fury was getting at. Maybe Fury was saying, I was unconscious, so I didn't know I was losing. That's probably what happened. USYK knocked this dude into a different reality. His body was in our reality. His mind, though, was in an alternate reality where he was actually bossing the fight. Right? He must have been. USYK knocked this dude into a parallel universe. Yeah, one where he was whoop, whoop. Yeah, it must have been around the 6th round. USYK hit dude with something, and Fury's consciousness went into a parallel universe where the next 6 rounds went like rounds 5 and 6. Fury's bossing it. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah? But in this universe, there wasn't a bit of bossage from round 6, mate. Ain't gonna lie. Let's call a spade here. Who saw any bossage in round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? In fact, to the contrary, we saw you punched up. People stop. The takeaway from round 7 to 12 was, this guy got punched up. Get up! Some cat in the comments said the other day, YB, he said it was funny, honestly, it made me laugh, made me piss myself. Some cat in the comments said, YB, when I was watching the fight with Fury and USYK in round 9, I could see you shouting out, get up! That's what it was like as well. I was going mad. Put your elbows in, you big heifer. Put your hands up and have a fight about it. That's why I was going mad at the TV. I was like, go on, have a fight then. Have a fight. We're here now. It reminded me of Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. He had his trainer in the corner. I think his name's Martin something. Martin, I don't know, but his name's Martin, I think. And he was saying to Dan, we're here now, mate. Yeah, it's not just punching bums up no more. This is the fight game, Dan. It's time to go now. And that's what I was like. Come on now, Tyson. Yeah? You've done the talking for 6 months about the midget. Yeah? You've done talking about you ain't never going to lose to a dude with a pussy ring in his ear. Now it's time to go. This is the fight game now. He ain't do nothing. Do you understand, people? It takes a certain level of brokenness to be getting punched around by the rabbit roadrunner can't punch. Midget. Middleweight. To not do nothing. You must be well broken. You must be well finished for that to be the case. For a man who's supposed to be Kronk, bare knuckle, hardest man on earth born from his mother. Yeah. So the rematch, I don't think is going to happen in October. I think USYK, listen, whatever, if USYK, 6 months is when? 6 months is like the end of November. I prefer that as a base case. It wasn't an easy fight. So I think 6 months is fair. Normally I'd say, do it in 4, but this wasn't a 4-month type of fight in my opinion. I think you need 2 months off and then get back in it for a 3-4 month training camp. That said, if whatever USYK agrees to, I'm confident it will happen. If USYK agrees to late November, it will happen in late November from his perspective. If Fury agrees to October, there is no way he turns up in October is my base case. If he does though, if we get to fight week in October, that will be a good sign. That will tell me potentially he's had a reality shock. That will tell me maybe he actually wants to fight this time. But when you're doing them delaying tactics, it tells me his mind isn't in his work. He's not actually focusing on the task at hand. He's focusing on, let's try and be smart and play around and mess people around. But what this is proving is, you can't mess USYK around. Yeah? He's not a side man like other people who can lose their head like Vlad because you've pulled out and you've messed around. USYK's a solid dude, an old school kind of dude. So, if Fury wants it in October, he'll get it in October. And all I hope for Fury's sake, all I hope for Fury's spirit's sake, because I wouldn't wish brokenness on any man. Yeah? Maybe you're a hater. I don't wish it on no man. When I see it though, I'm going to call it. That's the difference between me and a lot of man. A lot of man will see someone broken. He going to come back, king. I ain't doing all that. You can show me you come back And I'll say I was wrong, he wasn't broken, or more time he was broken, but coming back don't mean he wasn't broken, right? It's like having cancer and then being cleared. We can't then say, oh, he never had cancer. You had cancer. He was broken. So the point is, I ain't going to do all this, oh, he only lost one fight, he going to come back king. No. The way he lost that fight, he broken. And until he showed me some, he going to be broken forevermore. So I hope from a spiritual point of view that he does come back and he fights hard. And if he loses again, fighting hard, no one has a problem with that. If Fury loses going in there, yeah, hands up, elbows in. If Fury had lost against Cunningham, doing what he did, well, man, at the very least, he had a fight about it. That's your obligation as a fighter. We call them people. We call them fighters. All due respect. Yeah, they're held in esteem as fighters and these warriors. So if you're going to be held in esteem as a warrior, you best show that. You best not be running from a dude a road runner, who a middleweight. That's what you best not be doing. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I've heard a lot of back and to and fro in here. Some people say that Fury's not gonna fight him and gonna retire. I think he should though. He needs to fight him. Yeah, Frank Warren's kind of like, oh, if he wants to retire, Fury needs to fight him. Otherwise, he'll be known as a Naz. I like Naz for what it's worth, but Naz is that guy. Yeah, he was never a warrior. Naz was a wannabe, unfortunately. He didn't like it like that. Anyone can punch someone up, right? Naz didn't want it like that. Yeah, so that's who you'll be known as. You'll be known as the guy who talked the most, lost one fight, and fell off. Especially in this circumstance where there's a rematch there. If you're anything you've talked about, a warrior, a bare-knuckle warrior, no bare-knuckle warrior can lose all of his ish, yeah, and then swan off and not take the fight. But it's possible. I see it as a real possibility that he doesn't take it. I can see a real possibility of him nazzing off, if I'm honest. But USYK, there's no way he's retiring. No way. People I don't get it. Oh, USYK should retire. There's nothing else left. Of course there is. Yeah? You punch Fury up again, and then you punch AJ up again, and then you swan off. Why? Why not? Yeah, it's free money. Someone was saying, oh, I think it might have been Carl Watch. Oh, you'll diminish your legacy. Only if you lose, though. Yeah, and I don't think USYK's got that mentality. Yeah, that's what I don't like. Even from Carl, I don't like this. It's like the Floyd Mayweather way of doing things. Oh, I'm gonna save my legacy. No, if you're still pinging, if you're still feeling great, yeah, then keep going. Certainly for the names that are knocking about. It's not like, I'm not saying should USYK hang around and be here 10 years later. No, but I think until he starts showing signs that he's falling off here, I don't see why not. I don't think it will take away from his legacy. I mean, look, historically speaking, everyone's lost. All due respect. So it's not about legacy. This isn't a case of, oh, USYK's looking like Muhammad Ali versus Larry Holmes and he's washed up and he's getting punched up. I get that. But when you're pinging still, and I'm not being funny, but the current crop is weak. I believe AJ will take out the winner of the Brian Hrgovic and be back in number one spot. I believe USYK could then take out potentially the winner of Wilder and Zhang. But they're really the only fights that are about. The AJ versus the Brian Hrgovic winner. Wilder and Zhang. I think the winner of Wilder and Zhang needs to rematch Joe Parker. And then the winner of Joe Parker versus the winner of Joe Parker versus Zhang/Wilder winner should fight USYK. And then Fury again. There's only 3 fights left for USYK, in my opinion. Fury again, AJ, and then the Wilder/Zhang/Joe Parker. After that, he's consolidated it all. Because Dubois out of the game, Hrgovic is out of the game, and Zhang/Wilder/Joe Parker's out of the game. And Fury's out of the game. At that point, I'd then say, who is there? Ajit Kabayel? I need to see Kabayel in there. Kabayel, Turkey. Kabayel versus Joe Parker. Boom. Pattern that fight, right? That's what needs to happen right now. Kabayel versus Parker. USYK should also fight that guy. He doesn't have to though. I just don't think that. I don't know. Maybe he should. I don't see why not. I don't see that much from Joe Parker and Kabayel. It's like, whoa. And that's how I believe USYK. I already think USYK at this point is He's up there, top 3 best heavyweight of all time, if I'm honest. Because he's never lost. Yeah? Lennox Lewis, he wasn't necessarily the best professional. Yeah, he got knocked out by Rahman because he wasn't training, allegedly. Little things like that. I'm sorry. I put USYK in that conversation now for sure. It's a split. I can see some people saying USYK's better. I can see some people saying Lennox Lewis is better. If USYK beats Fury again, AJ again, Wilder / Zhang / Parker, winner, there's no question. That's my position. I think it's a little bit too premature, though, to say he's at that point now. Does USYK wash Lennox in the all-time great conversation right at this point in time? No. But he's right there. It's 50-50. For USYK to go above 50-50, beat AJ again, beat Fury again, and beat Wilder / Zhang / Parker. The winner of that little thing. Caballero, it's a bit of a stretch. But Caballero doing well. Caballero taking out untested dudes like Sanchez and Magomedov, or whatever his name was. Big stiff dude. He was no good anyway, if truth be known. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%, no doubt about it. Stop it.